All right, so we're getting ready to roll here. One, two, three, and just going.
We are live.
Okay, all right, we are live. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, all ages out there, Facebook friends, Facebook community. Really excited on a beautiful Tuesday, January 19. Wow, 19 days already gone by of 365 days, folks. But hey, you know what? It's always a beautiful day when you have one of the best guys in the neighborhood over here. And I'm so excited. It's so excited. It's probably cold outside. Anybody outside and around the world, it might be cold. You might be thinking that's very nice and warm, but it's cold outside in Toronto, Canada. But it's going to be warm over here in my room over here, and it's going to be warm on this Facebook Live. So, folks, they say success leaves clues, success leaves trails. And to get success, all you need to do is follow the right people or surround yourself with the right people. So if you want to do something, follow yourself and find your mentor who's already done it. Follow somebody who's already done it and you take on their views. Success leaves clues also. So, it's basically, you don't have to go there and reinvent the wheels. See what it's already been done and then see if you can optimize it, possibly would be the right word, but at the same time go from there. So I'm really excited today to talk about how do you grow your business, whatever business you're in. If you're in a mortgage business, real estate business, you're in that, anything that's done with online and you want to promote yourself. Remember, online presence is so important these days that you need to promote yourself. You need to get out there and see how we can do this. And one great individual that I'm going to introduce in a moment over here, he knows how to promote himself within the social media. And this is an individual that has taught a lot of my real estate agents and brokers within Century 21 Innovative to promote the business itself and get a brand out there. So with further ado, I just want to give a nice warm welcome to Mr. Gordon. So Gordon, well, welcome to our Facebooks. Well, thank you for taking your busy schedule, taking some time out of your busy schedule and giving me the opportunity to put you on the hot seat today and say, hey, let's show me how it's done. Welcome aboard, Gordon. How you doing today?
I'm doing amazing, Sabbir. Thank you so much. What an introduction. Remind me to pay you for saying all that.
Yeah, well, the invoice is going to be sent to you. So I will basically let you know on that. But definitely I will give you a call and let you know on that. But appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. That definitely is going to be the way. But no, you know that whatever I have to say is certainly genuine, and it certainly is to the point on that, Gordon. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Sabbir. Sabbir, before we get started, first of all, again, I really do want to thank you for the opportunity to be here with you, because I know since your gala, you have been unstoppable on Facebook Lives. You've had politicians, talking about the future growth of the real estate market here in the GTA. You have experts and so on, like so many amazing Facebook Lives you have already done. I've seen it, like you're relentless, right? And you're offering information, education, teaching, training to your realtors through Facebook Lives, which in my opinion is a form of a podcast as well, and continue to support them. And so, as you know, one of my passions is trying to teach entrepreneurs and small business owners how to use very low cost, right? Low cost or no cost at all, if possible, right? Social media strategies to build and grow their business. And podcasting is actually one of my passions. I love podcasting. I love doing Facebook Lives. And over the years, I've helped many of my clients, launch new books, become published authors, become public speakers, grow massive mailing lists, grow their businesses and so on through podcasting. And so here's the challenge I gave myself on the weekend, Sabbir.
Wow, what is it? Yeah.
Here's the challenge I gave myself. This coming Thursday night, I have a 1-hour webinar. We're going to teach how to do exactly what I just shared with you, how some of my clients have been able to use that to leverage to build very successful businesses. And so what happened was Thursday, Friday, when I checked with our IT team, they said to me, Gordon, you have 2 registrations for Thursday. Like, oh, like 2 registrations. Like, is there something wrong with the copywriting? Is there something wrong with the event? Is there something wrong with me? You know, self-doubt every now and then can actually kick in.
Correct. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, why don't I put myself to the test?
Sure.
When I'm going to be teaching on Thursday, I'm going to do it myself,
Absolutely.
right? So I'm going to prove that through no advertising at all, right? Just through organic search, organic podcasting, and organic Facebook Lives, and being interviewed by other folks like yourself, we can actually get individuals to attend our webinar. And so this morning I checked the numbers. So that was this morning, and I'm sure there's more as of right now, but this morning we went from 2 registrations on Thursday and Friday to guess how many registrations we had this morning.
Wow.
Take a guess how much we have. 28.
Wow.
28 registrations.
That is phenomenal.
Okay. No, isn't it? So it's not 2,800. It's not 28,000.
Sure.
But 28, you know, think about, you know, Sabbir, you are so amazing at webinars for first-time home buyers.
Mm-hmm.
You're amazing at webinars for teaching clients how to make money in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a first-time home buyer workshop right now, and you had 28 registrants attending your first-time home buyer workshop, how would you feel?
I would be ecstatic. That would have been ecstatic. I mean, it's like everybody on this Facebook Live, if you're a realtor or mortgage person and you're looking at doing your first-time home buy seminar, especially in the market that we're in right now, generating leads is a big thing of the business out there. And if you can get this room filled on a virtual room filled with 28, that's just one word, and I just have to say it's phenomenal.
Isn't it amazing? It wouldn't be phenomenal, Sabbir. You know, I'm not a real estate agent anymore. I used to sell real estate, so I
thank God you're not a real estate agent anymore, man, because I'd have to compete with you.
Well, you know where my referrals goes, right?
Absolutely, I understand that.
So, Sabbir, what's really neat is, as you know better than I would, the average price of a tiny little home in Toronto is $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, right? A small little 1,200 square foot, semi-detached home, literally $1 million.
Correct.
Right? So if you had well, from your experience, if you had 28 individuals, not, you know, I love first-time home buyers, and the reason why I love myself first-time home buyers is you can appreciate once you sign that buyer agency agreement with them, they're so raw, they're so fresh, they have no preconceived ideas.
Correct.
And they're so appreciative, aren't they?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you can walk them through, if you can show them, you know, it's like holding hands. You know what I mean? It's like a little child. You hold their hands. You know, that child is going to be like looking up to you. You know what? If I could just share a story with you. I've been coach. I used to coach. I've stopped about 6-7 years ago. We're not young anymore, right? So right. I used to coach.
What are you talking about? You still look like you're 17.
Well, thank you very much on that. But, you know, I used to coach soccer to 12 to 15-year-old kids in my neighborhood over here in Scarborough. And it's just phenomenal. Those kids that I coached over the years, they've grown up. And one of that kid just got his license, real estate license. He joined my brokerage, you know, and it's phenomenal. He's just done 2 businesses. I think he's got his license August, September of last year. He's already written some deals. But the beauty about it is he looked up to me when I helped him back then.
Yes.
And now again, he's looking up to me and coming to me, and I'm being his mentor. And I'm like, yes, this is phenomenal. This is great to help as many people as helping as many families. That reminds me, many of you on the call probably know, both Gordon and I, our big philosophy, we believe in the principles of Think and Grow Rich, the Napoleon Hill. And one of the principles that reminds me is what you just said is going the extra mile, right?
Yes.
Right.
I love that. You know, going the extra mile. Mm-hmm. You're doing more than what you've been paid for.
Absolutely.
And Sabbir, you're very humble about your success. I do, if it's okay with you, I love to share a personal story with, if it's okay with you. So would that be okay if I share a
Oh
personal
yeah,
story?
please go ahead. Share the personal story with me.
Because because again, you're very humble about your success, and I know, one of my kids, they were getting married, they had to buy a house, and during the pandemic, it was hard. It was tough. It was hard. There were multiple offers, and I just could not believe the attention to detail, the care, the realtor that they work with gave them, and walk them through like every step, the stress, the anxiety. And there's a lot of stress and anxiety to buying a home. And I'd like to share that that realtor was able not only to eventually not push them at all, because the kids were panicking and thinking, we got to put an offer on this house, right? No, and the realtor, you don't have to buy the first house you see or the second. You got to buy something that actually really makes sense and work for you. And the good news is today, not only have they, I think, been in the home for almost a year now, they love it. They, during the pandemic, they even got married. Talk about memory. They even got married on the balcony, right? With a Zoom wedding at the home. And, I want to let the folks know that realtor was actually you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. And that was last year pandemic with the lockdown. End of April was their closing, so it's almost a year anniversary is coming up. But you know what? It certainly goes back to both you and I have worked together many things, and that's what it is going above and beyond the call of duty, and that's what this is. So let's go back over here. So what else can we expect? I mean, this Thursday call you're saying.
Can I share a screen with you, Sabbir?
Absolutely. Please go ahead and share the screen with us. Yeah, absolutely.
So podcasting is pretty easy, right? It's just an audio.
Mm-hmm.
It's an audio of your passion, your knowledge, something that you want to share. And on Thursday, I'm going to really, it's podcasting 101. My goal is to inspire the folks that are there to take action and actually start a podcast or Facebook Lives.
Okay. Yeah.
There's an individual here, Podbean. I use a platform called Podbean to host all my shows, and that's what I recommend to my clients. And by the way, full disclosure, I do have an affiliate link. If I do inspire you to get started and you want to buy me a coffee and use my link, let me know. I'm happy to send it to you and happy to give you additional support. Here's a podcast. It's called Bigger Pockets Real Estate Podcast. They have 441 episodes. Wow. And they have 5.1 thousand followers.
Wow.
Okay, this is just where they're hosting it, and I'm almost certain that their show is probably on Apple, like on iTunes. Look, I love the quote you have behind you by Steve Jobs. Would you mind just sharing that very quickly? Success. What does it say? Success
depends. Can you see that?
Success depends
on the second letter.
On the second letter, which is you by Steve Jobs. Now, Steve Jobs, we know there's two brands. We know his name is a brand, Steve Jobs. We also know Apple is the other brand.
Correct.
If you could partner with Apple today, would you? Of course you would. They're absolutely. Like a giant. They're so big, aren't they? Apple. So if you have content that's on Apple and exposed to potentially billions of listeners out there, you would, wouldn't you? And it's free. So you can offer your content for free. And these guys have over 5.1 thousand followers. Okay. My friend Jelani Daniel, locally here in Toronto, he's an author. So if you're an author, you want to get your message out there, I encouraged him to start a podcast to share his quotes in his book.
Correct.
Today, he has over 82,000 plus downloads.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible? He's all over iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio. I'll show you one other podcast. There's another, I don't know this individual. He's got a real estate show called Passive Real Estate Investing.
Okay.
Anybody out here there that's a real estate agent that likes to teach their clients how to earn passive income with real estate?
Absolutely. Love to.
Look, they only have 321 episodes. Can you produce one episode a day?
Mm-hmm.
You can if you're disciplined. right? It's all about discipline, isn't it? Jim Rohn says what's easy to do is also easy not to do.
Absolutely.
On Thursday, I'm going to show you how easy it is to start a podcast, even if you only had a smartphone.
Oh, wow.
From a smartphone with an app, record right from your smartphone, upload it to Podbean, and we'll show you how to set it up once. So it's automated to iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. But look at this here. This guy here, passive real estate investing, has 1,304,009,161 downloads, you guys. Do you think he's going to attract some clients?
Absolutely. No, I mean, something of that nature definitely would attract it, right? And that's what it would be, right? And so on and so forth. I definitely agree. How that would be, and so on and so forth. Definitely makes sense on that. So you are going to get into more details and what I need to do. Is that what it's going to be?
I'll get into more details. I'll show them exactly how to set up a Podbean account.
And you're telling me it'll definitely also work like from my real phone over here. Like I got an Apple phone. You're going to teach me how to get it from an Apple phone?
Absolutely. When I started podcasting, it was a little bit more difficult because Podbean did not have an app at that point. So I had to figure ways, Sabbir, to record and then upload to Podbean. But Podbean now has an app where you can record and immediately upload to Podbean, which is crazy, right?
Sure.
Very, very simple. And, yesterday I was interviewed by someone named Annie. And Annie recorded our episode on Zoom.
Wow.
Just like right now, we're on Zoom, but it's on Facebook Live. So she did an interview on Zoom. She recorded the video. She edited it. And that same evening, she had already uploaded it to Facebook and all sorts of different social media platforms. So what's really neat about Podbean, especially for real estate agents, right? Because real estate agents are constantly showing off videos of listings,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And now it's kind of cool because some agents have gone as far as drone videos for their listings.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
if you have videos, you can actually upload a video directly to Podbean.
Okay.
Right, the same video you upload to YouTube, the same video you upload to LinkedIn, and so on. You upload the video to Podbean.
Correct.
And again, because we set it up once, Podbean has the AI that will automate your audio to iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play.
Whoa. So this is, oh wow. So here I am, I'm doing work once, but you're going to show us how to put it onto different platforms and how that works. That means
Exactly.
Different viewer on YouTube, what is it, on Apple and everything. So this is like I can get hundreds of people that I can basically attract all at once. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay?
So let's go back for a minute. You had an amazing podcast with Gary yesterday.
Correct. Yes.
You talked about how many immigrants are now coming to Toronto and how many students are coming to Toronto.
They're saying they want to get at least 1 million in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
But the beauty about the million is that 75 to 80% are going to reside right here, calling Toronto or Ontario their home.
So Sabbir, here's the good news. That's 750,000 as a realtor on $1 million home.
Absolutely.
Even if I don't list it and I sell it, I make 25 grand. So if I want to make $100,000 a year,
yes,
I just need to sell 4 transactions a year out of the 750,000.
Yes.
And there's my $100,000. So as a realtor, I don't mean to point a finger at anybody at all or be mean in any way.
Yes.
But I hope you can excuse me ahead of time for saying that if you're a realtor and you can't sell 4 homes a year,
yes,
then you're in trouble. Then
Absolutely.
Find a coach, find a mentor. Like in the book of The Science of Getting Rich, right?
Yes.
The Science of Getting Rich says there's a system, or not a system, there are steps to getting rich. And when you skip a step,
yes,
that's why someone is not rich. So if I look at real estate, and Tony Robbins says success leaves clues, and I look at the brokerage, Ascension 21, I look at yourself, I look at Samin, I look at all the other brokers, I look at the top 5, I look at guys like Arul and Bobby and Hassan, and I don't mean to leave out anybody. There's some names I just don't know and remember. because every year the top 10 changes. Most are consistent. There's a few that get in there. If they're successful, why can't you? So find out from the people who are successful, what are they doing? And just do it 10 times more than what they do. So going back to here for a minute, let's see this podcast right here. And this could apply to if you're a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, it doesn't matter. It could be a charity, right? Mm-hmm. My friend Raksha and I have started a podcast, sports podcast, because our goal is to grow a huge influence. And then we're going to go back and market a children's book to bring awareness to families with children with autism. And we want to raise money for autism at the same time. And when we first looked at the book, we said, it's a beautiful book written by a university grad, my daughter, right? Oh, wow. So I'm biased. And so we thought, if we don't have an audience, who's going to buy from us? So why not create the influence first? So let's go back to this for a minute. These guys here have 5.1 thousand followers, right? We're not talking about somebody who just liked their page, but 5.1 thousand followers. Look, when I was selling real estate, Tommy Hopkins was one of my mentors. Correct. Mike Ferry was one of my mentors. And I try to get the best of both, right? Tommy Hopkins was very soft, all about scripts, should it, couldn't it, would it, right? And he was all about words and scripts. And Mike Ferry is like, boom, just knock on that door, right? Be aggressive. And I try to combine the both. And remember Tommy Hopkins saying back then, man, this was a long time ago, 20 plus years ago. And he said, you take a farm of 300 homes, and you start knocking on doors.
Yes.
You start getting listings. You start putting out flyers. And if you farm that farm for 18 months, yes, you can own that farm, right?
Absolutely.
And so today, the challenge with today's market is you knock on a door, and every third door, somebody's either an agent or they have a brother, a sister, an aunt or uncle, a brother, somebody who's an agent. So it's a little more difficult. But would you agree this through social media and technology?
Correct.
If back then you could have 300 to 500 in a farm, you should have 5,000 in your farm through your mailing list or your digital marketing assets. Does that make sense? Because if you have 5,000 people that are truly following you, and I'm going to give you an example in a minute how someone picked up 3 transactions, okay? If you have 5,000 people truly following you, it doesn't mean they're always listening to you, but they don't hit spam either, do they?
No.
If out of those 5,000 people, 1% of the 5,000 every year, if they're thinking of buying or selling, they refer them to you. So let's say out of 5,000 people, what's 1% of 5,000?
1% of 5,000 is basically 50-ish. I don't know.
50, right? Let's say out of those 50 people that are referred to you, what if 10% of those 50 people list or buy a house from you? How would you feel?
It's phenomenal. Let me tell you something. You just did the math, Irene, about $20,000 commission check. People can make the numbers out basically and say, hey, this is a phenomenal career to be in. It's just beautiful career to be in. And but you know what? It goes back to what you were saying. You got to be consistent, persistent to make this happen. So yes, folks, this is a great opportunity. I hope everybody's on this call and understand that this is an opportunity where you can help to get in front of a lot of people. However, it may not be for everybody, but if you are willing to do it persistent and consistency. Let's go back to Apple. Let's go back to the brand of Apple, basically. Apple basically has been on the trend consistently coming out with phenomenal product. Let's take Tesla, for instance, coming out with some phenomenal, outstanding product consistently. You want to be at the game of it, you need to be consistency also. So it's not just doing it sometimes, once in the blue moon, once when I feel like you're doing it. No, on my birthday, my anniversary, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, this is consistency.
Yes.
And that's what I'm going to preach today, is that I encourage people to join on Thursday's event. But at the same time, you got to make a commitment to yourself and say, am I willing to put in that effort for Thursday's event? Because if I'm not willing to put in the effort for the Thursday event, it's not going to happen, basically, because that's what's going to make things happen. You got to be consistent and persistency will be the name of the game to go into it.
Yeah, so Sabbir, in terms of persistence and consistency, do we have time or?
Yeah, I've got another 5 minutes. Somebody's waiting up there 2:45 minutes to call. Yeah.
Well, you have an agent in your office, and he gave me a testimonial yesterday. I was blown away. And he said, Gordon, 4 or 5 years ago at the gala, you encouraged me that I could be top 10 in the company.
That's right.
Right? And this year he qualified.
Absolutely.
To I believe it to be in the President's Club.
Yes.
And he's in the top 10.
Exactly.
Right. And I remember that moment. I still remember it because I was just coming off your stage at the gala. And he came up to me. I never met him. He said, Mr. So. I said, first of all, I'm not Mr. So. That's my dad. Call me Gordon. Right. He said, I would love to double my income. And I said to him, start a podcast. And he looked at me like I was an alien. And several months we kept on talking and talking and talking and talking. Finally, he started a podcast. I posted something on social media a couple of days ago. He said, yeah, I need a refresher and I'm coming out on Thursday. But the good news is I remember when he first started his podcast, Sabbir, he reached out to me about 30 days later. And he said, I sold 3 transactions on my podcast. And my ego went through the roof. I thought, see, I told you so. No, I didn't say that to him. I thought he had new clients from the podcast.
Sure.
But you know what he had? He said, once I started my podcast, there were individuals that I already knew.
Sure.
Because they saw my podcast, it created that instant connection. You see, as a real estate agent, out of sight, out of mind, right?
Absolutely.
Here's my last thought. I remember when I used to sell real estate, I drove by one of my clients' home and another realtor's for sale sign was on their lawn. And I'm cursing at my client. I'm like, come on, like you're my client and you got somebody else's sign on the lawn. And my broker straightened me out and said, Gordon, if that was your client, why is somebody else's for sale sign on their lawn? And I had to recognize I didn't keep in touch with them enough.
Absolutely.
Podcast is just one more way, perhaps, to keep in touch with your existing clients.
Absolutely. Well, folks, as you see it over here, I mean, this is a great way to grow your business, great way to stay connected with not only your clients, but also reach out to many other clients. Folks, one thing I've learned in this business is Gordon and I are very young folks over here, but we're also going out to the millennials. The millennials are out there. This will be a great opportunity for you to get it in front of these first-time home buyers. If you're in the real estate market, if you're a mortgage broker, maybe even if you're an insurance person who wants to get in front of more people, this would be a faster and easier way for you to get in front of a lot more people. And that's one way we can show you and guide you on that way for that. So Gordon, any other last thoughts maybe before we end over here? Because I have to move on. Got somebody waiting for me outside.
I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Your incredible success you had last year as a brokerage, the realtors, and I just wish you guys, more continued success in 2021.
Appreciate it, folks. Join Gordon, reach out to myself, and let's see how you can grow your 2021 business, whatever your business it is. Grow that business, skyrocket to the next level, and see how great things happen if you do one thing, and that is take action. You got to get out there and take action. If you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. Success people are those that go out there and do things which are maybe sounds unsuccessful, or maybe that's a little scary or a little fearful. But you know what? If you're not afraid of getting in front of the camera, or if you are afraid of getting in front of the camera, get that fear out. Or if you're thinking, how's my voice going to sound? It's okay. Do it a few times. It's going to be phenomenal. And then once you get used to it, and when it becomes like a second nature to you, things will certainly come into it, folks. So that's what I want to say, folks. I want to end with Gordon. Thank you very much again.
Thank
folks,
you.
Let's move on. Let's have a phenomenal 2021. Lots of great things that's going to happen this year. And you just have to be ready to make sure that happens on that. So with that said, thanks again, folks, and go from there. All right, Gordon.